Hey, it's Bruno Browning.
Roy Evans. Welcome to another episode of The Other Side of Vegas.
Dose of the month. It's the second time we're doing this, right? Second time we've done 2 in a month?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Who's this big fellow?
Man.
He just moved to Vegas, I think.
Yeah, about 6 months.
He's a newbie.
6 months and 17 years.
Man, 17 and 16.
No, shit. So, 2, 7, 8, no, shit, 18 years.
Dude, we moved here the same
18
time.
years. I moved here June of 1999.
August.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because there's a big flood that year. I know, dude.
Anyway, DJ Carlos Sanchez is in the building.
That's right. But we should have had him on here earlier. I get your process. I know I'm saying, but he should have him on here. It's my 2 cents. I'm just sidekick. I'm just fucking sidekick. He's fucking the monkey. I'm just holding the tail.
So you guys do your thing. I appreciate being on the show. Yeah. When the time was right, that's right.
Wait, he's here now, and Carlos, I'll probably you probably explain a lot better than I can as far as actually you probably couldn't. As far as your impact on the fucking scene,
He'd be a real asshole.
He'd
He'd be an asshole if he did. Yeah, I was huge.
No, that's all relative, man. You know, people's importance or perception of what they've done or what people think they've done. It's all relative. You know,
you've had a big impact.
Oh, you know what? I wasn't going that far. I was just thinking really just from the longevity and the fact that it's still relevant.
He just set you up.
I wasn't blowing it up like that.
He just fucking set you up.
No, I
He
wasn't.
totally set you up.
Wasn't.
Dude, I'll say you've been an impact on the scene. So there you go.
No, it's a true statement, but I get it. That part is relative. I was thinking as far as like, sort of like the way I commented on Edgar being 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
You know, we got car washes that can't stay that open that long.
That's a good line.
In the desert. So it's like.
You started off with the House Society. Is that or were you before that?
Actually, my first ever residency in Vegas was Drai's.
Really?
My first residency, I did Wednesday nights at Drai's, and it was on Wednesdays. I think it was after hours. No, it was after hours. Drai's was barely...
Was this like when it first opened?
Yeah, it was fairly new.
Do you remember when it's called One for a week?
No.
Yeah, Verdugo.
I was there before. I was there before him. I was there before Verdugo. Verdugo is why actually I left. He actually pushed me out.
Really? I can see that.
So I didn't start the night there. I got brought in. So back in the day, Adam Control. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah.
He did a lot in his time. He kind of left the scene a long time ago. But back in the day, he was resident at Babies. He did. It was still at Babies, but it was for Giant, which was out of LA, who was doing parties out here.
I used to promote for Giant.
He did Dragon, but good friend of mine, and he was one of the guys. Him, Jason Hancock, and Brian Minogue heard me play somewhere. I don't remember where it was. I think it might have been at SRO actually, which is long gone.
Yeah.
But heard me play, loved what I played, and like, hey, come play. It was Brian's birthday, I think.
Yeah.
And invited me to play. It was just supposed to be a one-time thing, and they all really enjoyed what I played. They're like, hey, we're gonna do this on a weekly basis. We want you to be the resident. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, awesome. Like, I think I've been in Vegas for maybe 6 months, and I'm not always the most like super social outgoing person.
No.
I think actually, if the one person I want to give credit to for my first ever real gig in Vegas was Buddy, Joel Roberts, who ended up running Intelligence Records. I don't know how I got the courage up to do this, but I was new in Vegas. I didn't know hardly anybody here. I knew nobody in the music scene, and I saw a flyer. They were doing something at what became SRO. I don't think it was SRO at the time. Maybe it was. I forget. But him and Twilight were doing a party, but Chad wasn't there at the time. And I walked in, and I'm like, hey, I'm new to town. I'm like, let me play for you. If you like me, book me. If not, No big deal.
That seems like it's so out of character for you to go. To go
I know.
that seems like.
And I was a young DJ. I'd only been DJing for like maybe 3 years at that point.
Like,
So
yeah.
maybe that's why I was a little more brazen.
Yeah, what's up? I'm about to bring it.
Definitely not like that. So,
It's so much cooler. That's
Fill this place, yo.
but to add on to that story, Speedy was playing the night I played. I think I did the opening set.
Oh, big ups to Speedy. Yeah.
And Speedy was like, God.
Yeah.
And I was beyond fucking nervous. And I picked up my records and I set them up and I opened up my crate and I started splitting it up and somehow I spilled the drink like right there. I was like, oh my God. I'm like,
Like worst case scenario.
not a great fucking start. But I ended up playing. I played my set
That's
and
funny shit.
you know, they all really, you know, they said I did a good job. You know,
That's
so,
that's like the worst. I can't imagine. Like,
yeah, that's pretty embarrassing.
oh my god,
Man.
dude.
Yeah.
Fuck,
But
man.
that was actually my first ever gig in Vegas. Was playing for Buddy and Chad.
T Mixwell coming up to this weekend.
That's right.
And Rescue.
Speaking of that,
My girl T. Oops.
that's referring to Nacho House.
With Rescue.
Yeah, Rescue.
That's gonna be pretty dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a great night.
Then Dre's the next day she'll be at.
when you back at Dre's again?
I'll be there 25th, so 2 weeks.
Okay.
Make sure you remind me of that.
Next week.
And
Actually-
you got Soul Kitchen coming up with Edgar and Robert Fernandez for SK. That's Thursday. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow is the anniversary for
Oh yeah,
T3.
Techno Taco too. Yeah,
Yeah,
3 years.
yeah. I was
Aquaviva and
crazy busy. I wasn't able to
Monkey Safari and
grab
the Mansion Crew.
everybody's flyers that I got up there.
I feel bad. I hardly ever know who any of these people are. I'm not as versed as I should be. I mean.
Oh,
really.
and this Friday after, Disco Supreme, Chris Jocelyn, Vixen, and the name escapes me.
Lod.
Um,
No. All right.
That'd be
yeah, well, it's on the flyer.
that'd be a great
But
name.
yeah,
The name escapes me.
can't remember everything, man.
They had a stab a jab.
Obviously, for Friday Night Social at DCR.
Who's
Carlos
that?
Sanchez.
Oh
Some
shit!
guy.
Yeah.
Some old dude.
Saturday Sessions
some old
on
dudes.
Tuesdays also, and All for the Soul, Ravalon, Doug W, DCR. Thursdays, Lenny and Akaika. I mean Lenny Alfonso and Akaika.
What's Uncle Ben doing these days?
Saturday Night Vibe. I saw him.
man.
Big ups to Douglas Gibbs. He did something at Brooklyn Bowl.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
got another one coming up.
He didn't post it.
Actually, he's opening for Erykah Badu. I
That's
think
right.
it's this week. I think right.
He probably should post that a little more prominently.
Well, he did. He
Well,
did it.
He should
you
probably
know.
should
You know
text
what?
about it.
I really couldn't be on, man. I was like really in and out like a robbery. I mean, I usually try to.
I'm just not on
be
Facebook
up-
as much. As,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
So
just can't.
it's,
You know.
it's
Yeah.
I can't. There's only so many hours a day.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes up too many.
Yeah.
I need a robot.
They're coming.
I
There
was-
was a big
I was
interview
raised
with the guy for Tesla,
I gotta hack.
and he
But
warns
also-
everybody about fucking.
Let me finish it the rest of the week. 'Cause I'm struggling with rubber shit anyway. Release Saturday, Juicy Beats.
That's right.
Also Thursday, Juicy Beats, Jay Handel.
And dope.
So,
Mentioned Nacho House with the after hour. I missed the debut after hour of the monthly for Frenchie and
or Joe.
Grover and they
I
had
think he's
Speedy.
going under Joe now. Canicio, or is he under Grover?
I think it's still Grover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was
and they had
they're doing a
Speedy.
monthly there.
Oh yeah,
That,
but that just passed, right?
yeah, just Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
I had to write some music.
But yeah, can't forget anybody. I mentioned Aaron and
Soul
Harry.
State. Is that coming up?
Release Soul States once a month.
Hey, I want to go. When is that? I want to meet these guys.
Soul State. I know it's on Saturdays, like once a month.
Yeah.
Because
I'd order this.
And Terrace After Hours, Brett Rubin, Saturday, weekly, top of the.
boats and hoes.
Yeah.
Boats and
I guess. Yeah.
Oh, them.
Brothers.
Watching Step Brothers.
Yeah, boats and hoes. It's like my favorite. It's my favorite season.
It's a great spot, man.
You should bootleg
Especially, it's a great spot. You know, that view is.
Just feels weird that when I going to any after hours with a strip club, I need to have Gino involved.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem right.
I gotta be honest. I haven't been. I don't make it after hours unless I'm playing. It's just.
You're old.
It's tough.
Yeah, stuff.
My schedule is. I'm usually up by like 8 or 9
Oh, good lord.
daily.
Yeah, I'm usually going to bed about then. Yeah. Well, no, we work it out. If I want to see my wife, this is our step. I mean, you know, I'd be a real asshole if I just did if we worked opposite schedules when I make mine.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of dick moving my part. Back then, man, those were fun.
Yeah.
Some fun. It was a lot of. I don't know. Maybe because I was 30 years old, man. Back, you know, it was.
Shit, I was 22.
Shut up. But you know, we were back. We were out every damn night. You know, just out of the army. Like, it was like Monday night. Boom, boom. It was a 54 on Tuesday. Boom, boom, boom. You know, it was like every fucking night,
Yeah.
and it was so new and popping then
At
that it was
time-
like, what's
at
gonna
that
happen
time,
next?
There was a really good underground scene. It was eclectic. There was a good variety. There were small parties, and
It was segregated, kind of sectioned off. There was a group.
There were segregated. There were parties like so. China Grill was one of my favorites, and it was definitely a house crowd. It was Wednesday nights. It was a restaurant at Manly Bay.
I saw Garth there.
Yeah, I saw us. I'll come back to that. Not Garth, but just an experience out there that really kind of had a major impact on me.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those too.
So there was China Grill. There was Raw.
Right.
They did like a house night.
With that bad speaker, DJ fucking credit card fraud, Dwayne King.
Oh,
What the fuck is that?
Dwayne King was a resident. Which I tried to. I gave him a CD one day, and I'm like, "Hey, I'd really love to, get a chance to play," and I never heard anything.
He's like the house shook night. Wannabe.
Yeah, it never happened.
You remember Bix's?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's where Midnight Mass, which ended
Yep.
up at SRO, started.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't go back
used to
that
go
far.
there. I used to go there. Yeah, a lot of great memories from Bix's. With
man.
so Jimmy and Robert,
Yeah.
which became
Lucid
Entertainment. Yeah,
Entertainment.
yeah, which they still owe me money.
They yeah. Well,
They still owe me money.
they probably spent. He probably spent on white shirts.
Mm.
That did always want white shirt with white shirts. That's all I wore.
I did some stuff for them. Yeah, long time ago.
Dude, we were. I don't know why we never met during that time. I don't know.
We may have.
That's
Just don't remember it.
valid as shit right there because I was really wasted back then a lot. How long have you known? When did you meet him? When did you meet Carlos? Because you guys are pretty tight.
This guy just met him like 2 days ago. No, I'm kidding.
He's pretty nice to go help you change a tire.
Right? So, yeah, small side story. Driving down here, blowout on the freeway. First time in, 25 years since I've been driving. And Roy was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, how long have we known each other?
I suck at that shit.
So
DJ Triple A.
Was it when we were still doing Soundbar, or yeah, it was Soundbar days, right?
Yeah, you know, I caught maybe the last one or two sound bars.
So was it more from DCR?
I want to say officially it had to have been somewhere around Soul Kitchen.
Soul Kitchen at Red Room.
So-
No, I'm trying to think now.
You gotta be.
Which
You gotta be
version of Soul
specific.
It's definitely after Woody's. Yeah, Red Room.
So yeah, so you were there in the Woody's days. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I was there.
DUI fucking Wednesdays.
Because
Or
by the
DUI,
time it moved to
We gotta get DUIs there.
Unfortunately, I never.
by the time it moved to Artisan,
Okay,
I'd already known you.
all right.
Exactly how, I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember seeing your name. I don't know how or when we first talked, but I think we became better friends later. It took a little time. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlos is known for having the male version of resting bitch face. Like
Listen.
everybody's like, yo,
Listen, I said the same thing. Listen,
yo,
because
alright?
no. Listen.
Yeah, he's fine.
Listen, I when I first started talking to you, because I've never really had a problem talking to anybody, and I was like, man, I said, I was really trying to make an effort to talk to you, and first off, I really don't do that with anyone with a penis. But you know, I got respect for what you do.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's not my thing. Man.
Like
You know,
doing us a favor.
yeah, I'm not saying I'm doing no favor. I'm just saying I like what I like. So you know, anyway. So I remember coming to Francesca. Man, I really tried. I don't really get cars. So I try to talk sports, music. I got respect for it. And then all of a sudden, it clicked at Lewis's wedding.
Yeah.
And I was
I
like,
don't know, man.
no, I'm not even talking shit. I mean, it was
I get that a lot, and people will get this vibe from me that I'm kind of a dick or an asshole.
I didn't think that. I just was
I
trying to
didn't
figure
say
it
you.
out.
I get that, and it's not because at least I don't think I am. You know, opinions vary, but I'm just
Nice reference. Did you just quote Roadhouse?
Oh, I didn't think about it. I've watched that more than once.
Awesome! I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy. Sorry.
But I'm not the most super social person, and not that I don't want to be. It's just not my nature.
Yeah.
So,
but when you clicked, it was like
it just.
I remember coming on. I was coming on. I called because you know my wife doesn't really know you, but Franny does. And I was like,
yeah, because
I was like, I said, dude. He calls his whole conversation. She's like, I've never really seen you that concerned about it. I said, shut up. You're missing the point.
I just, I don't know. I guess I'm weird.
Listen,
I'm definitely weird. Period.
you're a DJ, right?
Yeah, but
there you go. It's prerequisite.
But most DJs are like very boisterous and very like outgoing and super social.
Too social, some would say.
You know. But I've gotten that a lot over the years, and it's not because I don't like people per se,
Right.
but I just have a hard time to like.
I get it. Well, I don't get it, but I get it. It's all cool.
I don't know. I've always been the quiet guy.
Dude.
So here's an example, and I didn't even realize Frank knew who the fuck I was back then, but. When I first moved to Vegas, I really know a lot of people, and the people I did know, they weren't into the music I did,
Right.
or the music I appreciated and loved going to hear. So I used to go to Utopia every Saturday night, religiously, and I was on the patio, and I didn't know anybody there, like nobody. I didn't know a fucking soul.
That's pretty awesome for somebody who's not very outgoing.
But I didn't talk to anybody. I would literally sit in like just past the doorway against the wall. And just hang out and watch and listen.
That's kind of
like
dope.
I was
dope.
there
That's
because I
kinda
wanted to
dope,
hear
right?
music,
Mm.
and yeah, it's been cool to know people. Obviously, it's been
dope.
cool.
No, that's pretty dope, though. Actually.
But I was there because I wanted to hear good music. I wanted to be around music that I loved, and that was without a doubt the spot to be.
Yeah.
Especially when I moved. I mean, Utopia at that point in time was the pinnacle of dance music, whether it was trance or house. You know, there would literally be a line till 8 fucking o'clock in the morning for people trying to come in, and it was not an after hours. It started at 10 o'clock and went till 8 o'clock.
Yep.
And
challenging to get in.
it was very challenging. And you know, Frank was kind enough to let me play.
Man, that was kind of.
I don't remember the month, but I do remember being beyond excited.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
And nervous as hell
Fuck, dude.
to play. But, you know, I got to play. I started off super deep, and he's like, hey.
Get it going. Jack it
More
up.
vibey.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, and I started bringing it up, and, you know, people were dancing, and it was a fucking, probably one of my better memories
Don't
for
you love
playing
that
anywhere
stuff?
in Vegas.
I love that, dude.
A lot of fun, and yeah, I had a great time.
That's that shit that have you chasing the dragon.
And,
Yeah, you know what?
and that's what it is. And that,
Exactly.
I think we all do that.
They
I
get
think
the
every
fucking hooks in
DJ
you.
does that.
You're right.
We all
And it's
chase
a
that
fucking
dragon.
rap.
You're right. That's a good. That's a good way to. But
And we keep chasing that dragon. It's like,
Yeah.
especially in Vegas, because Vegas is such a tough scene.
Dude.
Yeah.
Small market, a lot of tourists. The locals tend to follow the tourist market
Yep.
for the most part.
For the
playing
first
in Vegas-
8 years that I knew Frank, I kept not forgetting who he was, and he would get offended by it. We're outside.
That's one way to do it.
We're outside. We're out on the patio. It was whatever it was after that.
Empire. Yeah.
And he's standing right there, and I kind of ran him. He goes, "You don't even know who I am, do you?" I said, "No, shut up." He goes, "Yeah, Bruno, it's Frank." I'm like, "Hey, Frank." I said, and I go, "Chris, Frank." He goes, "It's Frank." I'm like, "Hey, I'm fucking dudes, man."
Empire is actually one of my favorite memories of playing in Vegas. So we did, myself and Keith, we played up on that patio for 2 years.
Really, I didn't know that.
2 years. And year one was by far the best. We had an amazing sound system, which it was so good that we got noise complaints from Monte Carlo.
Wow,
Which,
it was bumping.
Yeah, it was bumping. But it was amazing. We had a crowd till 9, 10 in the morning. The latest we ever went was it was some sort of music conference in Vegas, and we had we had Halo, Jamie Finnis from Seasons Recordings, David Harness.
Ooh,
I want to say John Cutler. I'm almost positive. John Cutler.
what's he doing now?
He's still, he's still got distant. He's still doing stuff here and there. And then myself and Keith, and I played the closing set, which was at noon, and I was not so boy.
Shocker.
So, I mean, we started at 3 in the morning.
Do you remember?
And we went till noon.
Do you remember I don't want to say he's a Hasidic Jew, the Jewish fella that would go around in Utopia, and he had like the locks, and he had and he would be, he'd be rocking.
No,
dude.
but I remember this really older. I mean, this guy. He had to be in his 60s, at least 60s, and he always wore a really nice pressed, like button-down shirt. It was white and black.
Yeah.
He wore slacks and like wingtip shoes. And he didn't move fast, but he never stopped moving.
He moved.
And he was always dancing with a girl, always, without fail. Never danced by himself. He was always dancing with.
Were you in that? Were you there then? Roy, have you?
No. I caught the tail end of that.
Yeah,
too.
it was a. I dropped out for a while. I never really was in Utopia because we had just got through partying in San Francisco, and that's the little story where Katie goes, "Why is it so bad?" Because she just left 10-15. That's the first time she's ever in a dance scene. She's at the end up 10-15 backflip. So I don't care where you go. She's like, "This is terrible," and I'm like, I'm not to take the shine off it, but we just left it, but I did go to Empire Ballroom a lot.
So, like I said, year one was way better than year two. The system we had got pulled, and we got stuck with some less than spectacular sound. But so my first time ever in San Francisco was a New Year's Eve before I moved to Vegas. This guy I knew, he was a DJ originally from Vegas. He was doing like a record shop down in New Orleans, and it was playing in San Francisco at what's the prison island? Alcatraz. He was playing like some rave in Alcatraz. But we went to 10-15 first, and Grover, who's not from Vegas, but lived in Vegas, moved, came back. I'd never met him before. He was playing before Sandra Collins in the basement at 10-15, and it's New Year's Eve. I'm from New Orleans. There is no cutoff for drinking, ever. You can drink 24/7, literally. You can go through a fucking drive-through, get a drink, and then keep going. So we're in San Francisco. I'm, I think, 21. And we're there. It's New Year's Eve. Literally, it's New Year's Eve. And we're drinking. We're having a good time. Music's good on every floor. And it's like 1:30, and my friend's like, "Hey, let's go do some shots." I'm like, "Dude, it's 1:30. We got lots of time." He's like, "No, they stopped serving alcohol at 2:00." I'm like,
I forgot that.
I was like, "What?"
I forgot that.
Are you fucking serious?
I forgot that till you said that. Because
like,
I was just super high. So I was,
Are you fucking kidding me? So I run to the bar. Literally, I don't walk. I'm running to the bar, and they're already packing the bar up. I'm like, "Can I get one more drink?" They're like, "Nope, we're not serving anymore." I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?"
This place is whack.
Come on, man.
Fuck you, Martel. Fuck you.
So ended up not drinking anymore for the rest of the night. But so he goes. So we're gonna go to leave, and he's like, "Do you want to hang out? Or do you want to come to this?" I'm like, I didn't really know. I was kind of torn. I'm like, I was having fun. I don't know what the rave's gonna be like. I'm like, can I hang out? He's like, yeah, stay. So, and this is actually funnier because they don't really do re-entry, or if they did it, it was like you had to go back in line. And I just back in that time, I would always carry a record bag with me and collect flyers.
You're like the guy from Groove.
And so I'm there, and I'm trying to get back in, and the girl that's working the door, and I'm not loud or aggressive, and she just happens to catch my bag, and she's like, "Oh, honey, you're DJ," and pushes me. Yes, I am. Pushes me. I didn't see him. I'm
that's
like,
what I was saying.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and then she gets me right back in, and I go downstairs, and Grover's wrapping up his set, and Sandra Collins is about to go on, but she's so faded. She literally cannot play. And they had this little couch behind the DJ booth. And she's sitting on it. And Grover's playing and he keeps looking back. And she's not getting up. And he played her entire set. She never got off that couch.
Oh,
he played her entire set.
Well,
and that was the first time I ever met Grover.
I had a VIP card for there, so I don't know about waiting in lunch.
I wasn't living in SF. I was out there for New Year's Eve.
It's a good time. You got some gigs coming up there, don't you, bro?
Later this month.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's probably opening up for, I don't know, President Obama or something. He opens up for everybody.
Yeah.
You handle your business.
Not quite.
You handle your business.
Not quite. Working on it, though. Working on it.
Don't not let
So,
go ahead.
like, because that was a game of fucking history. Like, you know it or not.
For some, no one out there that's just seen this first time believe that you have a problem talking. No one.
But since then, like you went. You said that what was the first one was
My first residency was Dre's.
yeah, and then you went from where? How did it progress? And
From Dre's. Wow. I think actually after Dre's is when we started doing Soundbar. I met Keith through Brian.
big ups to Keith. I just
And,
talked to him in a while.
I think we started brainstorming. I feel like Brian was working somehow with Hustle Blues, and they had this room, this kind of side dining room called the Crossroads. It was a cool space. So they had a little stage, and then it dropped down, but around that were tables and then the bar. And we were all just brainstorming, thinking names for the party, names for our group, and we ended up doing house society for the group and soundbar for the party. And the concept was bringing in artists and musicians and obviously DJs.
And this is back when?
So 2000,
Okay.
2001, I think we launched it.
That sounds right.
So I mean, I done some other stuff, not as a resident, but like guest spots. Mostly Time to Grill, and I think I may have done Utopia at that point. And then we just we worked out a deal with House of Blues. Back then, it was Sean Christie was running it, who is now part of the whole Win Empire. There was a lot of guys who ended up leaving House of Blues and developed the Light Group.
Okay.
They were all from like the Boston, Massachusetts area, and developed through House of Blues, and then created their own company.
Fuck you, Tom Brady. Sorry.
And yeah, they eventually developed Light Group. But so yeah, Sean was instrumental in getting us started. So he's a house music fan. I don't know if he still is, but he helped us, or he facilitated getting the whole Mushroom Jazz tour come through. We weren't ready for it. We were kids at that time, and but we did Mushroom Jazz tour at House of Blues in the main room.
That's dope.
And we did Farina, obviously.
Who is this Farina fella?
We did Afro Mystic and
Ooh,
Solstice.
Really?
They both did live PAs.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So
You're like, what the fuck?
Super fucking cool. We didn't have the greatest turnout because it was kind of a short promotion time, last minute, and we didn't really get a lot of time to really do it. But we did House of Blues in the Crossroads for a while. We were fortunate to have guys like John Lemon and the guys from Wax and a handful of really talented DJs come through, and we were fortunate. We had a lot of success there.
It's a great venue too.
From there, I'm trying to think, where did we move to? I want to say Rio was the next stop, which again we were fortunate because of Gino and Paulie D, who was Utopia crew back in the day.
Gino every holiday.
And we were fortunate enough to move the event there. Oh, actually, I think we did one before that. We were at Curve.
Well, that was short-lived.
No, was it Curve? Actually, Curve lasted.
Did it?
It lasted longer than you think.
Was that? But that was Jimmy and them's.
It started with Jimmy.
Okay, yeah. I probably got tired of Jimmy at that point. So
it started with Jimmy, and they moved on. But
you knocked Jimmy Foster out.
We got to bring Marcus Wyatt out, which was great.
Oh, he did. What a man.
Marcus is amazing as always.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd only heard like mixes, and him live was a whole different element.
He's really he's really connects to the crowd.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. It was fantastic. And then I think we moved to the Rio, if I remember right. And we had a lot of fun at the Rio. We got to play outside, and we were fortunate enough to be able to bring out like Miguel, and we had Marcus, we had Sneak, we had Wally Clario, we had King Britt, JJ and Latrice Barnett. It was
big ups to JJ. Get my mastering done.
Fantastic. I mean, they were awesome. JJ is super humble and super nice, and Latrice was fantastic live. Her voice is beautiful. And after that, we moved to Taboo at MGM, and it brought the party to a whole different level. We were fortunate again. Miguel was one of our regular people.
He was so hot back then too. He was just putting out cuts.
He would come out for at least once a year for us, sometimes twice. But we had John Cutler there. Actually, I think either John or Kerry. I think John or Kerry Chandler were openers. Did the first party, which Kerry Chandler, one of the most humble, nicest people I've ever met in this industry. He had flown from Japan, and I think his flight was like 17 hours. Came into the MGM where we were staying, and we did the longest sound check I've ever done in my life. It was 10-hour sound check.
What? Were y'all high?
No, it wasn't his fault. It was because MGM hadn't prepared.
I didn't assume it was.
They didn't have the equipment that was supposed to be there in time, and we were just sitting there waiting. And he had just flown seriously 17 hours, and he wasn't throwing a hissy fit. He was super nice and
well
super
within his
humble.
rights.
and he was just hanging out, and we were just talking, and he was
That's cool.
telling stories.
I love that shit.
And of course that night was amazing because I knew he played keys, didn't know he sang. And so through his set, he DJ'd, sang, and played keyboard through a set. I was like, holy shit.
After a flight and 10-hour sound check.
Yeah. Pretty fucking awesome.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I've never went to one house society.
You never went to any sound bars?
I was at that. I really feel like I missed out because when Glow closed, I used that as an opportunity.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. So we actually did Sound Bar Glow.
Yeah, that's the first time I met you.
Okay.
Because the first time I met you.
So at
we were doing Friday night, and you guys were doing, and we were promoting together.
Shit! Holy shit! Again, Gino and Paulie facilitated that, and so that was actually the first time we ever had Miguel mix out, and he was fairly new to the scene, but he was producing a lot of really amazing tracks.
Oh, a lot.
So I think on that run, I think we only did 3 parties there, and we had Miguel for one of them. We had Yeno, which Yeno's Yeno. You can't say anything bad about that guy. Genuine, awesome person. And then I think the last or the only other one we did was John Lemon from Viva and Johnny Fiasco.
Yeah,
which again, awesome
I feel
people.
like I missed out because basically when Glow closed, that was kind of like I'm not being the signs. But I was like, you know what? I need to bow out for a little bit of the scene and not focus on parties and start to really get the label going.
Yeah.
And so I just started writing music. And I missed all that, but it was still even not going out. 'Cause I didn't go out for like 4 years. I was just studio, making a lot of shitty fucking tracks. I mean, they were shitty, but I was honing my craft. But I still felt the impact of what you guys were doing, which speaks volumes of the overall impact. If I'm feeling that in the studio, just getting secondhand, information or whatever. That says a lot. You know what I mean? No one's curing cancer here, but you know what I mean. Like that's a testament to you guys.
Back in the day, we were busting our asses.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you guys were.
We literally would go and flyer casino garages. We would go level to level and put flyers on every car in a casino. That's how hard we were working.
Yeah, you guys were doing.
We would do that 4 or 5 nights a week.
Hundreds of cars.
Easily.
Thousands of cars.
Easily.
But even on the low side, it's a lot of.
And he has to really get to know the car before he gives him the fly.
So I think obviously we did. I think after House of Blues we did Glow, and then we did the one-off at Curve, and then we moved to Rio and then Taboo, which Taboo was. No, fuck. I'm.
You guys are all over the place.
I'm skipping a whole step. So we took a short hiatus, and I was doing a party up at the Rampart Casino at Plush. The name of the venue was Plush. And we ended up relaunching for that. I think we were down for like 6-7 months.
What were your numbers there at the Rampart?
Actually, solid, man.
Really?
We crushed it.
People were Summerling doing the Summerling shuffle.
So, all right, we're going back a few years. So at Plush we did Garth or Yano, or actually we might have done both Yano and Garth.
Good,
I forget. Dizzy from Double Down and Low Down, which was awesome, and Marcus. And all great events, and that was actually an awesome venue. They had a really good sound system.
You guys are doing something right because people don't like to travel in this town, off the strip. They're like,
it was a long time ago.
It
was a long time ago.
Like,
But it was a great venue, and I was working at Curve at the time. I was a resident there for 2-3 years, I forget. And I met Nicholas Quintanar, he was a VIP host, awesome guy, one of the nicest people I ever met, super genuine.
Right.
And he came and helped us out at Plush, and he had left and gone to Taboo. And when he went to Taboo, he kind of pulled us into that.
Oh, that's good.
And forever grateful for that. And again, that brought Soundbar up another notch. And again, we brought Kerry Chandler, John Cutler, Miguel, Marcus, Doc, Quentin Harris, who's a favorite of mine.
Yeah,
when he plays, it's just like so raw but so good.
How long were you guys total? How long? What was it? 13 years?
I think we did
12 years. How long was
12 years.
12
we
years?
did it for 12 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long fucking time.
Taboo was great for us, and then
What was the last one? Joey Negro, right?
No, that wasn't the last one. That was.
No, that was the one before.
Y'all brought some heat.
last one
Y'all brought
was,
We
heat.
had Joey Negro. We had Osunlade. We had
Osunlade.
Colette.
Oh, really?
I want to say at
Colette.
the Hard Rock. Wasn't that the last
We
one?
had Osunlade at
How's that live? That's gotta be just dope.
Ghost Bar. Osunlade is amazing, and he's a super nice guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So even up at Ghost Bar, we've had Heather Collette, JT Donaldson, Chuck Love, who is one of the nicest guys again.
Assemble your crew.
Halo, Jojo Flores. We had Quentin back there. We had Mr. V, Alex Alvarez, Ben Watt. Only guy I didn't really care for. He was kind of a dick.
Dude,
Kenny Dope. We had Kenny Dope.
Kenny Dope's one of my favorite
At
producers on the planet.
Soundbar at the Palms, which was fucking amazing.
I actually went out to Phoenix to see Kenny Dope.
You really? You drove that? Just really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's
At
Again,
Bar Smith.
he looks like a fucking tough badass who doesn't want to fucking talk to anybody. Again, one of the nicest guys. Super nice.
Yeah.
love his
Super
cuts.
fucking
Man.
nice.
Every time I play, I don't care. Every gig I play, there's going to be a Kenny Dope track. At least one.
Honestly, genuinely, one of the nicest guys. And he always has that kind of mean mug, because he's New York and he's kind of that old school kind of like
fuck New York.
hard ass. But seriously, he's super nice guy. Super nice.
Yeah.
The only out of all the people that I've come across and in the time we did Soundbar, the only guy that kind of rubbed me wrong was Ben Watt.
Wow. You got a pretty good run
Never
then.
met him.
Yeah, I made a minute, but that's a pretty good run if only one person.
Yeah, everybody else has always been really kind of just laid back and cool, and they're just like, yeah, let's have
I
some
love
fun.
talking to J Trip.
Play some music.
J Trip is like a whole nother level. Like the treble's the bass for this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He starts talking about producing the frequencies that release chakras. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, all right. Let me hear more about that. I don't know if they believe it, but okay. I want to hear more about it. Tell me about Treble or about fucking The Walking Dead. Shit.
So from there though, you
After Ghost Bar, we kind of slowed down quite a bit. We did. I think Joey Negro was the next one for an anniversary event.
How was that?
Joey was amazing.
yeah.
I almost didn't make it to that party because I have severe, like, I can't express how severe my spring allergies are, which always turn into like a sinus infection and then bronchitis and.
You'd have died at the Neolithic age, you know that, right?
Probably. But I'd been sick for seriously like a month, and I was feeling like shit, and it was the night of the party. I was on antibiotics, and I get up there, and I'm like, I did my opening set, and I talked to him, and I'm pretty sure he probably thinks I'm a dick because I was just really short with him because I felt like crap the whole time.
Yeah.
And I that's probably only the second time I haven't stayed for an entire soundbar.
Right.
And I was
Sometimes it's hard,
I was
man.
struggling. I think I'd lost like 20 pounds
Jesus.
because I was so sick.
How do I get that?
But I made it
How
out
do I
that
get
night, and I had a great time. He was amazing. He played just quality music all night.
Were you there for that one, Roy?
Yeah.
And then I think the next year, I don't know if it was. I think shit. My memory's failing me. I think we did Osalate at Nikki Beach.
Oh, really?
That's right. At Tropicana.
Tropicana, which horrible setup.
And
Sound system was
Because it's not
terrible.
Nikki Beach.
Right.
They made them more in between there.
I think
For some reason, I think the last time I saw him was at at least for
Hard Rock.
Soundbar.
Definitely Hard Rock.
At the Hard Rock.
Because we did
Okay.
Doc and
That's right. Yeah.
and Osalate, which
Mhm.
Doc did a lot of our anniversary. Oh fuck, man, it's a lot to remember. We actually did an anniversary at Empire Ballroom in the main room. We had Wally, Calario,
Yeah.
and Doc in the main room at Empire, and it was a lot of fun.
The main room, wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty dope.
I think. I'm trying
That's
to
pretty
remember.
dope.
I don't think we were playing at Empire at that point yet. I think it was right before we started playing.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah, but Doc's been a staple in the soundbar, series.
Yeah.
He did probably 6 or 7 anniversary events for us.
I love he's my favorite DJ.
Yeah. Again, another just genuinely.
Yeah, I love me some him,
You know,
dude.
it's not about ego. It's just
I love
it's a love of music.
the big guys that I've met in whatever is it's like Mark.
Mark's played for us a million
Mark,
times.
Doc, and I for the first time I got to hang out back with backstage with Dan at not the last one but the
DJ
one
Dan?
before, and we were telling stories about the party that I'd taken my wife to, her first Oklahoma ass like boat party. And he's like, "Oh my god, yeah!" I said, "Doc was upstairs. You were there." Because you were there. And it was just so genuine. And I always tell this story. You probably heard many times, but Sunrise is coming up. This is my first real EDC because there was not a lot of house music, but this was, Juan Atkins was playing there that night too, and it's like Mark's closing it out, and a song comes up, and we both look at each other, and he goes, "I'm going to feel what it is," and I just thought that was the coolest fucking thing because if you're that level cat that's been playing that long, and you're like, "I'm gonna go train spot the fuck out of this," because that's a good cut.
But keep in mind, back then we were also playing vinyl.
Well, this was 2 years ago.
2 years.
This was 2 years ago, fool. This was 2 years
Never
ago.
mind, scratch
I'm
that.
like, that's just cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you've been playing that long, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go see what it is.
Yeah, that's
I'll Shazam that shit. He loves
yeah.
that.
We've
Statue
had Mark
of
out
Liberty
a handful of times too.
He loves Shazam. Ah, shit. Oh shit.
But the thing is, a lot of times it'll be a debate as to what it is.
Because it doesn't read it right.
No, as far as like, isn't this track? And like, no, that sounds like this track. Let's just Shazam it and see what it is.
That's why I play cuts that haven't been released yet. Boom.
Well, there's that.
What an asshole. I would like to get Chuck Love out here. I had an opportunity to get him out here for damn near nothing. He was in Denver playing, and we couldn't. Didn't get a phone call back, and we missed out on it. It was like, hey, we can make this happen like right now for pretty cheap. You know, like he's here in the area,
Yeah.
or you know.
I think the last time we had him out was him. I think Colette and Chuck played the same night. And I'm fairly certain, if I remember right, she sang a couple tracks over his set.
What was this?
It was at Ghost Bar.
He just became so much cooler when I realized that he was a big driving force behind bringing Mystery Science Theater 3000 back.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which means he's a super nerd. Which I'm a super nerd. Which I'm like, dude. I'm like, that's like dope as fuck, dude. Fuck. Pretty cool. That's some white boy shit. I'm trying. You always give me the explanation. You're like,
you have a moment.
No, I'm just kidding. I saw him look in your eye like usually he'll go, yeah, that's some New York shit. So I'm just explaining. You know, that's some,
I'm not from New York. I'm New Orleans.
yeah, but he is. But he'll give me some New York shit.
Hey, I was letting you have a moment.
I'm putting it in perspective.
That shit was like completely. I had no fucking idea what you're talking about. You can have that.
Fucking hey, man.
I suck at that shit. I fucking suck at it.
So how long have you been in where you're at now? Tell us.
DCR?
Yeah.
I've been DCR for just over 10 years.
Yeah. That's damn. Your second run is longer than most.
You know, it's been interesting. It's
I saw you rocking there one night. You had it rocking. And our mutual buddy, his birthday, he got played. I was like, Tony got. At least he was a pro. He realized that he was real loose around the course. And he goes, I'm out. I'm like, it was so bad because that's the first time I haven't seen it rocking like that hard at DCR. Like you had that floor bumping, dude. It was bumping, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, he was so bad that the next time, fast forward when Wally was here and it was Lewis's birthday.
Yeah.
I told Francis I can't see two people I like twice do that. So we left. We just let Wally we just left. But at least Tony pulled out. I've never seen it bump.
Okay, gotcha.
I've never seen it bumping like that. You had it surging in DCR. I mean, it was surging, like surging in there.
We've had those nights.
I just never. It was just like.
Yeah.
Billy was trying to put disco light up and shit. I fucking.
Every once in a while, DCR is it's very unique. It's its own element. Amazing sound system. Probably without a doubt, best one downtown.
Yeah. That's a pretty
but
low bar.
it's a delicate thing. The owner is very particular about the vibe he wants there, which we've had leadway from time to time over the years. It's 10 years, a long time. And some nights, depending on what's going on there, they just let it slide.
Well, let me tell you, kudos for letting it slide that night because that was it was awesome. It was good. I'm like, damn.
10 years definitely had some good times there.
Yeah.
Lots of memories.
10 years. I would just have enough. I would have fun just watching people run through the wall.
No, that actually is kind of fucking old.
I just say it.
It's like, come on, it's not a secret anymore. It's 10 years now. It's on every review that anybody posts. Dude, so if you've looked this place up,
I did it 6 months ago.
Did you do it on the way out too?
No, but I may have been way wasted.
I see people go in.
I played there and I fucking
smack the door.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The only thing that really catches me is that it's like this huge slab, and there's like a space like this between the door and the glass.
Yeah.
And people would rather stick their fingers in there and try to pull this huge slab instead of just pushing it.
So,
I fucked up transitions watching this shit.
So handle is pull, no handle is push.
Yeah. Well, because no one wants to find the door when you're all up in and out cleanly. It's right when you're doing a transition. It's like,
yeah, and people knock on the window.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, and they can't hear you obviously because the fucking music's loud and they're in between a fucking wall of glass.
Yeah.
And you're like, I do this. I'm like push. And what do? They stick their hand in that little crevice and try to pull it open. And you know how many times I've seen people do that and somebody push from the inside?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I saw this chick. She was with her man, and she figured it out, and he didn't see it. He was like coming up behind her, and he didn't see her get in, and she's out. She pulls right into the door, and she's laughing at him. Ha 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 ha! She's laughing at her back. Like, I can't let. I don't know who this dude is, but I ain't gonna let him be looking that silly. Let me go help him out. She's, don't help him out. No. She was just laughing at her dude's.
You know how many people I've seen touch every pane of glass and walk away, and they touch every pane of glass, but the steel door. No, that can't be a door.
That can't be a door.
You know you've been playing it for a while.
What's that old TV show? Or I think it was like a kid show. It's like one of the things are not like the other.
One of these things. What is that from? No.
You know you've been playing it for a while when there's that one time when somebody's basically miming around the glass and then doing it to the beat. And I just... that one time it happened, it tickled the fuck out of me. I'm like, this is some silly shit.
And all those people sitting there, there's that kind of sheen curtain.
Yep.
They're all watching this person trying to get in the door.
Yeah.
Then you got Casey Beats pulling broads off the damn street. He's giving them complete mental instructions to come in for and he's working his game on these chicks. He tells this chick one time, he goes, hit me up. I can you have a good soul. I can see it. I'm like, I said, you really just say that? He goes, yeah, I did. I said, damn. I can see it. It's a good soul.
But, you know, in a way, it's almost like an old school mentality where everything was about, you know, getting people to come in.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your hustle to get them in? Like, get them in. Yeah.
And it ain't even his party.
Yeah. Which is so different. San Francisco is like, Bridget telling people comes like, hey, where's the party? What you want to do is you want to go to San Jose. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
I mean, in a way, it just kind of makes me think of how you don't really see like that part of the energy as much anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's valid.
I mean, it's I don't know. I feel it outside of the venue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it seems to translate into the venue for some reason. For me. Just the way things have, you know.
You know what?
Progressed from the time I've gotten.
That's pretty. Yeah, I never thought about it like that. You're right.
I mean, it just you know, I hadn't thought about it either.
People
just now.
I do feel real nervous because I know that Roy has a video of me yelling, just losing my shit at an Uber driver there one night.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, that was some funny shit.
Lost my shit.
Wait a minute, that was on my other phone.
Good, I'm glad.
Oh no, I got it. I know exactly where it is.
I lost my shit.
Yeah, that was some funny shit. I think the night had ended, or was
we were saying goodbyes. Oh, it was a funny night. I wouldn't even... Dude, listen, I love Vegas, man. I bitch about it. I complain about it. It drives me crazy. I want to shake the fucking shit out of it. But I love, like, cats who are doing it, been doing it, making marks. And it's quirky, it's funny. It's like no other place in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's ours. It's like your retarded stepchild that might not be really part of your family, but you gotta love it. It's like, you know, it's like I do. I mean, and I want to, like we always say, I rep it, man. I want to rep it. I will continue to rep it. This is where I live.
So saying Vegas is different. Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to play in a few different cities, and I say hands down, Vegas is probably the most difficult city to play in.
Well, evidently not.
No, it's beyond difficult. Like seriously, it's probably one of the toughest towns to play in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I've been fortunate enough to, you know, play in San Diego, LA, San Francisco, New York, Minneapolis, randomly.
I was going to say, that's the same.
I actually got to play there twice. New Orleans, Dallas. Never did Chicago, unfortunately. But I've also done some smaller cities like Albuquerque and...
Really?
God, I don't even know where it was in Mississippi, but it was just, my first gig actually was in Mississippi.
He was near Pine Bluff off of Route 23.
It was a rough experience. But yeah, and honestly, the toughest town is Vegas.
Yeah.
Seriously, I don't know what it is.
It's a whole crazy beast, and sometimes it'll drive you crazy.
No,
if you try to, sometimes I will overthink things, and and I have to let that go, and it's not always easy. You know what I mean? Like if I'll overthink why X, Y, and Z is not happening, and you know what I mean. And in whatever the endeavor. It's just different. It's just a different kettle of fish here. You know what I mean?
It's different, but it's such a hard town sometimes to get a read on crowds. You know, other places, it's just my personal opinion. It seems easier.
Do you ever play back? You have any desire to go back to New Orleans? They got a nice little house scene there.
They didn't when I left. There was a good rave scene back then.
Our boy Cameron Kelly. Cameron Kelly's laying it down there. He brings in like Rick. He brings in Doc.
Randomly, I have somebody I went to high school with who was not. I mean, we weren't on the same page musically back then. But he does a lot of events in New Orleans and like Baton Rouge. It's kind of in the.
That seems like a weird place to party in Baton Rouge.
They have a pretty solid scene. And back in the day, there was a huge rave scene in New Orleans, and that's how I got my start. I started going to raves. I mean, it wasn't clubs, and there used to be a big crew called Freebase Society. It was Disco Donnie.
Freebase Society.
Yeah, dude, they threw the best.
Wow, I bet they did.
Hands down, best parties in New Orleans,
Jesus.
And the biggest. And it was eclectic. It wasn't all techno, all trance. Literally, it was broken up in different areas. So. It'd be the main floor, which is huge at State Palace Theater. And then they'd always have, there was this kind of mezzanine that overlooked the balcony, and there was always usually some house there. And then there was this kind of tucked away room that was always drum and bass. But the main room was always different. I've heard everybody from, 808 State to, Dan, Donald Glaude, Sirius.
808 State played there?
Yeah. What's his name? Qbert.
That's a weird duck.
DB, Jason Jenks. You name it, they probably played that stage at State Palace back in the day. Josh Wink. Literally, you can go through a list. I can pull up flyers for days.
See, that takes a little bit of, I think, that takes us a little bit of, I wouldn't call it being brave, but it takes a little bit of something to do that. Because everyone, at least it's the way, I don't throw parties. For a year, and that's enough for me. But to say, okay, I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to bring in music because it's counterintuitive. I can see where it's obvious to us. I can see as a promoter, you start chasing whatever to try to get people. I can see how that comes about.
It was different though. It was so different back then.
This
was like late '90s, and I mean, I feel very fortunate because when I moved to Vegas, it seemed like it was very one-track minded as far as events were going, but. In that scene, I literally got to see everybody from Terry Mullen,
really?
Charles Feelgood, DJ Dan, some trance guys, house guys, techno guys, Joey Beltram. And first time I ever heard drum and bass was on the main floor at State Palace Theater. And I remember this till the day I die because I'd never heard drum and bass, first of all. I didn't know what it was. And
that's funny.
It was part of the Smile Herb tour. And... Smile was a record label back in the day, and Herb was a magazine. URB, not HERB. But so it was DB, and I can't remember who was before him, but when he went on, he had them shut every light off, and it went pitch black, and it was silent, instantly, and all you hear is, it was a bootleg of the Fugees' Ready or Not, drum and bass version. And it's pitch black.
I got that on vinyl somewhere.
No lights, no sound. And all of a sudden, out of the silence, you hear, Ready or Not.
Yeah.
You can't hide. You can't run. I'm going to find you. And then as soon as the first kick comes in, lights go on.
Your mind was blown.
Shit goes crazy. And it was like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, damn.
I wish you'd have said my vibe, your vibe.
Oh my god, it was bananas. The lights were going, in overdrive.
That's dope as fuck.
It was sick, and it made a serious impression on me. There were a lot of DJs that played on that stage, and a lot of amazing DJs.
Yeah.
Nigel Rich was another one that played out there more than once. I mean, Zulu was a huge event every Mardi Gras. It was literally a 3-day rave.
Mardi Gras was crazy.
It was Saturday, Sunday, and Monday was always the All Stars. So usually on Mondays you'd always see Feel Good, Terry Mullen, Scott Henry, which is another one that was a big fan of back in the day. All those guys would always play, and it was just crazy lineups.
You ever see Terry Lee Brown Jr.?
No.
Dope as fuck.
I may have. Saw Terry Francis in New Orleans.
Yeah. Dope as fuck.
I mean, I could pull flyers for days. I remember the first time I saw Bad Boy Bill, I wasn't a fan.
I wasn't either.
But
I wasn't either.
I
wasn't either.
He grew on me.
I wasn't either. I wasn't either.
I remember the first time I think I heard him, it was at an outdoor rave that Freebase put on at UNO Lakefront Arena, which was University of New Orleans. And it was massive, like 8,000 person.
University, they're using that term real
Right?
loosely.
But it was like 8,000 people. They had multiple stages. And Bad Boy Bill literally, and I'm not joking about this, every minute would do a drop. It's like Bad Boy Bill in the mix.
No, he did
So
not.
it's every minute you hear.
I'm so going to do that next time I play.
Bad Boy Bill in the mix. I'm like, yes, we know it's Bad Boy Bill in the mix. But we heard some amazing sets that night. Uber Zone, which if anybody who listens to breaks knows Uber Zone,
Yeah.
did a live PA, which
Bad Boy
was
Bill.
fucking badass.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Bad Boy Bill in the mix. That's hilarious.
In the mix.
That's hilarious.
That shit would've drove
But that
me
was a
crazy.
hot five thing.
Shit,
You know,
I
a lot
laughed.
of Chicago guys did that way back in the day for like their mix shows on the radio. But I kind of learned to really dig his sound when he got more into like the kind of funky disco, not the
Yeah.
more like UC underground stuff. That was
Yeah.
more just like
Yeah.
minimal banging stuff.
Yeah.
And then like same thing like Terry Mullen and Feel Good and Dan. Even though they were all for different parts of the U.S., they were all kind of finding that kind of disco-y,
Yeah.
funky sound. And I was just
Around the
I was
same time,
loving
too.
it.
Around the same time, too. Like, that was a good time, man. It was a
Yeah,
good-
it was
a good-
great
good-
times
good
back
time.
then. And Mondays ended up becoming my favorite because all those guys were playing. I'm like, just like one after the other. It's like, oh, you guys are just on top of it.
That's dope.
And Feel Good, like, man, he lives up to his name. Like, every time I hear him play, I just feel good. I remember coming back. It was actually right before I moved to Vegas. I'd gone to Spain to see family. And I come back, and House of Blues, long time ago, did a really good industry night. And they played a lot of house way back, and then they kind of got away from it. And I don't know why Feel Good was in town, but Donnie from Freebase got him into House of Blues, and I'd just come back literally that day. And I wanted to go out, and Feel Good played at House of Blues, and he played an all-house set, which usually or probably would have cleared the floor if it was anybody else playing. But track after track, he just got the crowd, and everybody was just
I don't get how it's
vibing,
clearing the floor.
and people loved it.
That's dope.
And again, Feel Good. You know.
I know you got a question.
You know, it my mouth's dry as fuck, man. Give me a shot or something. God damn. Fuck.
I think it's called Ashy. Tell you what, you pour.
Stuck.
This has been a fun one. This has been like a walk down memory fucking lane.
For real.
Like,
And
seriously.
just listening to it makes me think about the kind of things that got us, started. I mean, that's basically what he's...
Yeah, I wasn't even DJing back then. I was strictly just going to parties. And
Yeah.
I love the music, and
I think that's seems to be a common thing with the cats that I think that are at a that I hold a higher, put at a higher level. They just want to find the music. Like I always say that I knew before I started producing, before I started DJing, living in San Francisco, I knew would be at Virgin on Tuesday after being at 10:15 or the end up. So I knew producers because I would go to the sound stations just to buy a CD. You know what I mean? Just because I wanted to hear it so bad. So I knew what I would search it out.
Yeah.
And
No, absolutely.
and that's in some ways somehow everyone that I respect a lot musically, they are constantly digging and they're constantly looking and they because you have to.
well,
You have to.
back then in New Orleans, there weren't a lot of record shops initially. There was a couple. So I used to go to Virgin and Tower because they sold vinyl back then.
Yeah.
Not trying to date myself, but
No, Tower kept it going for a minute. on the
but
vinyl.
so you're from Atlanta, so you
Yeah.
know Rewind.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
So there was a guy, Dave Jinks, who opened up Rewind in New Orleans. And he would always pull deep stuff for me. And then this guy, Cease, who was a really well-known New Orleans DJ, would always pull kind of like that funky, disco-y,
Yeah.
kind of like more upbeat stuff. And so I got a really good like cross-section of like really deep stuff and then, really funky stuff.
That's good.
Because rewind it way back when I first started DJing. Very few people know this, but I was a breaks DJ.
I thought you were Miss Joy.
I played breaks when I first started DJing.
I knew that.
I did not know.
I played breaks.
Really?
Yeah.
Botch it breaks.
But I couldn't find the stuff I was really. All right, so
Yeah.
if we want to rewind why I started breaks, DJ Dan was my first influence as a DJ.
Not Gumby?
Nope. Gummy's a good DJ, don't get me wrong. And he's done some good stuff. But DJ Dan, and this still is the basis for me really pursuing DJing, was DJ Dan's Take a Fix of the Funk.
Listen, if you're going to jump in, that's not a bad one to jump in on.
Oh my God. So a friend of mine, this girl Ronnie, who I worked with at the time, brought me to my first party, and she lived in Albuquerque. She was going to school. They used to do all these like desert parties up in the caves and all this crazy. So she had been to. She was actually going to parties when MDMA was legal in bars.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
I was going.
So she's older than me.
Yeah, I was going to. When it was
But
still
she
little.
introduced
I was
me
going when
to.
it was still liquid.
She gave me that mixtape, and that mixtape seriously changed me. Like I was like,
Don't you love that shit?
I was like, holy fucking
because
shit.
everybody I know says that. That's worth the damn. Just, you know what? About XYZ yada yada yada. This time it changed me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all have
you know,
that.
that's
That's dope.
It was
put me
that-
on
it
the
was that
search for
healthy
trying to find music
distraction
that was
you
like
needed
that.
at the time.
Yeah, but it but literally changed like the way you
absolutely.
look at it. It's like,
It had such an impact on
Yeah.
me. It's crazy.
What was yours? What was yours? I want to hear
You don't-
yours.
you don't wanna get into
No,
that.
no, just give me a brief one.
Man.
Just give me a brief one.
Most people that know me mine started out at Paradise Garage.
Oh, talk about old.
And yeah, like the tail end, and I was too young to be there, and I forgot who got us in, but it was just, I don't know.
It was just everything.
It was the right time.
Yeah, no.
You know, it just
No.
it sucker punched me.
I know what you're saying because mine was in Germany. I was just graduating college. I was in the army, and this chick got me into this moving party, and and this don't sound corny as fuck, but being in Atlanta, growing up in the 70s and 80s, it was a different time. You know what I mean? And I always felt like I was different, and I didn't know. I mean, you know.
Yeah, right?
I just did. I mean, you know, just the way society was then. I was like, why? You know what?
Oh,
I just felt different. I just felt different.
None of my friends in high school listened to
Well,
music.
yeah, but then, you know,
Yeah.
just the whole, you know, white, black, this, that, and the other. It was just a different time. I get over there, and I would have never gotten this party if she wasn't there. You know, as an American soldier, we walk in, and the short versions. I see American expat guy with dreadlocks. I see a transvestite. I see I didn't see a midget, but I saw everything. I mean, my point. I saw everything and everybody was all right, and I felt like I was at home. And then the center of all that was the music, and I was. I mean, I may be giving it too much, but you can't tell me that because that's all I heard. That, saw that, and dude, look, and that made sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So I'm okay. I mean, I'm different. but you know what I'm saying? But that was a different.
That's why we're in because we
Yeah.
are different. We don't sit in that mainstream channel.
And that's a cool. That's the coolest thing about this whole shit. Man. Not to be all corny. Man, I'm playing nothing but house music or house vocals next time I play. Wait, look out, AC Lounge.
The whole
This-
set.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
There was not house.
I love hearing that. I love hearing people's stories like that shit, man.
Yeah.
Because they always motivate because you get distracted from
but
it.
even then, like, so in New Orleans, my first residency, which I definitely didn't deserve, because seriously, I was a
real shithead.
no, 'cause, I mean, I don't think I was even a year in at that time.
You should have came out here and played.
But I don't even know how. I honestly don't remember how I got this first like chance to play there. It was, fuck, I don't even remember, to be honest with you.
People probably scared of you.
Whatever. So I got to do this place called Oakland, and it was a dive. Like, there's no dive like this in New Orleans or in Vegas. It was literally, so there was ground floor was a bar, and there was a hotel, and let's just say the occupants of the hotel were less than respectable for the most part. There was some cool people because they were artists, but there was a lot of
Budget sweet rats.
suspicious people. But it was definitely a party spot. But it was eclectic. It was so eclectic. It was everything from black, white, gay, straight, transvestite, you name it. That mix was there.
Which I think that's what holds this party back.
And somehow I ended up getting a residency there.
Because you were eye candy.
No, you say that. Nobody could see me because the DJ booth, you couldn't see outside.
Yeah, they saw you.
DJ booth, no, they couldn't. DJ booth literally had a closed door. You could not see who you were playing to.
That's old school. That's how it used to
You
be.
literally went in a room,
But
and
you
just
just
started
DJ was
playing.
in the back. No one. It was not even about it.
Could not see anybody.
That's old school right there, man. Fuck.
That's how the room was
You
originally
making heart
set up.
symbols to yourself.
There were no heart symbols back then.
You'd be like,
At all.
There was no sync button.
no
Yeah.
heart symbols.
Fuck, there wasn't even EQ per channel. It was a master EQ.
No Jesus poses. None of that shit.
Yeah, it was different. Eventually, they kind of rearranged the booth, and at one point they did like a small cutout window. It was like maybe 6 inches by like 12 inches, so you could like literally see out.
Stop being a glory hog.
It was nobody could really see you.
Publicity whore.
But one of my favorite memories was, favorite memories playing there. It wasn't for because I did a weekly there with a couple of different DJs that kind of changed over the years, who, by the way, were 10 times better than me at the time. Seriously, they were both, and probably still are better than me.
DJ lowballing himself.
But it was a post Zulu party. So it was after Zulu during Mardi Gras. And I started playing, and I think I played like a 3-hour set, all vinyl.
Oh, that's perfect.
And I just had a fucking packed room. And somebody give me, a hit of E, which I don't do on a regular basis, and I definitely don't do when I play because I just can't.
Yeah, I can't when I play.
And I was having such a blast, and great crowd, and then it hit me. I'm like, oh, I can't play. But for me, besides having just such an amazing crowd, this one particular DJ who was part of Freebase Society, and he was doing all these big parties, he came and he's like, dude, killed it. You're killing it. I was like,
see, I'm seeing a theme. I'm seeing a theme.
I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
You get your opportunity. You take big cuts. You get in there, you play, and you stay. Because that seems to be a common theme throughout your story. Like you came here or you came there, you played, you did this about, then you were there for a while. You come here, if you get an opportunity to play, it seems like you just fucking nail that shit.
I've been fortunate. So, I mean,
you know the funniest thing you ever told me, the most true statement you ever told me? It was the funniest thing ever. I was fucking you. You probably don't remember. Is it Nachos one day? I said something. I said, man, we're talking about playing, and I still play every day, and I very rarely miss a day. I still love to play, and I was like, I'll still go out and I'll hit break out the same 2 records sometimes, and do whatever. You like, well, if you ain't got it now, ain't no practice in the world gonna help you. I was like, this guy's a dick. I kind of like him.
come on, man.
No, it was hilarious. Dude, I tell everybody, that sounds like the most shit I would say. I'm like, but it was so like, keep in mind, Lewis's wedding hadn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
So it was like,
I kind of remember saying
I'm like, that's
come on, man.
I said, that's some funny ass shit right there.
For real. Like, if you've been doing it for more than 10 years and you ain't got it down yet,
But sometimes my hearing will get me, and I want to get my
for
shit.
the first couple of years.
That was,
and I just managed to, like,
hands down, one of the funniest things I ever heard in my life, because it was so. You ain't got it done now. You fucking. That might be one of the funniest things I ever said.
After all this time.
You know what?
Because he ain't wrong.
I have my moments from time to time.
How have things changed in a way where at one point you weren't allowed to go that far?
What do you mean?
Before you realized that, as far as like accountability goes and how that's changed, where you wouldn't be able to go 10 years.
No,
and not be able to have the fundamentals.
Well, no, it's not about. But it's not about. It wasn't like I don't have the fundamentals. I was just like I just like to go in. I still like
talking.
No, you were. No, it's just I try to get into a structure, And so I'll play a little bit for me, then I will, because I got some issues that here, and that's why go down in some vinyl, this boom, and that's what I mean. I have my compulsories, then I start fucking around, and it ain't like oh my god, here we go, woo! No, motherfucker, I've been playing almost 20 years, but it was fucking hilarious. It was because his Lewis' wedding hadn't happened yet, so I'm still trying to figure this guy out.
Was this the vinyl night?
No,
No,
it was me and you played back. You and I played.
Oh,
but it was so fun.
All right. So I remember that. It was the night. It was the night I was still doing. I don't know why, technical issues with the Serato because they were doing different things. For some reason, it wasn't reading right. I don't know if it was.
Okay.
It was, but all I know was it was hilarious, dude. Because I just thought it was fucking hilarious as shit, dude. As a matter of fact, I told Katie Brave, I said, that's the funny ass shit because it sounds like some shit I was saying. Well, you ain't gonna get it right now. You ain't ever gonna get it, motherfucker. So I just said it like that. I mean, I thought that was some funny ass shit, man. Because you weren't wrong. I got nothing but love for you, honey. Dude, what time is it?
Man,
Time to get ill.
So, you know what? Because I'm gonna have to edit some shit anyway. But yeah.
Do the remix.
No, not much. Not much at all, actually. Because I hadn't even gotten through.
I know we've been talking a lot. Just
you know, I dig it. I like the way it flows. You know. Yeah, I normally get some business out of the way.
Oh, we didn't cover anything.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I tell you what, Carlos ain't playing anywhere I'm playing. I don't want him to fucking take over. He's like a goddamn. He gets in and gets in.
Yeah.
Fucking.
So you know what it is? Honestly, I have to get comfortable. So again, Soleil, I played at Florent the night before, no issues, and I actually have pretty bad anxiety, like performance anxiety when I play, especially in new venues.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if people really talk about that. It's not common practice to talk about it because we're superstar DJs. Everybody's a superstar.
I think you're weird if you
we're all gonna rock it. But yeah, I've had that happen a lot over the years, which I think is kind of like made me slow down or step back from stuff.
Yeah.
But I know the first time I played in Minneapolis, man, I got fucking hammered at the hotel bar before I went and played. I could not. And the same thing. I don't know why. I mean, I think I know why at Soleil because I know the pedigree of people that have come through there and all the people that play there, and I just got crazy nervous and anxious. And
what's your limit, dude?
Speaking of Soleil, big ups to Mike and Town.
Wow, look at that. He's rocking that shit.
Chris, yeah,
see you guys next month.
Great people.
You know what?
Great party out in San Diego.
We're gonna Francesca and I are gonna come on. We're gonna stay in San Diego and go to that party on Sunday, just as purveyors. I'm excited about it. I've never been.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it.
It's a cool spot.
Yeah, good spot.
Great dudes, great music, great vibe.
I'm looking forward to it. I've lost what I'm saying. Oh well.
So what you got going on now? You got Friday Night Social.
Yeah, Friday.
supposed to have some cuts for me sometime.
Yeah, you know. That whole.
I mean, I got plenty. But
quandary of.
I got plenty, but
is it done yet?
Yeah, I got plenty.
Is it done yet?
But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just haven't spent time in front of in the studio, like
jump back in,
focusing on it.
Everybody's doing it. It's catching on. Everybody's doing it these days.
Yeah, right.
It's like everybody's a DJ, everybody's producing. Yeah, no, I do Fridays at DCR, guest spots here and there. I've been fortunate enough, a good friend of mine, Chris Leosi in San Diego, who does a party called Bounce. He brings me out occasionally, at least once a year for different stuff, and he helped set up the event at Soleil, which I was beyond grateful for. One of the nicest guys,
Oh, yeah.
Chris.
Absolutely, hands down.
Genuinely, I've known this guy for.
I've only talked to him a couple. I've only met him for a few times. We chatted a few times. He's always so really
He's a
cool
great
cat.
dude.
Yeah, really
At
cool
least
cat.
14 years. I'm saying roughly 14 years. Yeah, they're a great couple.
Yeah,
they
for real.
definitely complement each other. But I met him, God, like I said, like 14 years ago, and we became friends over time, and definitely one of the people I hold near and dear to my heart.
Oh yeah.
He's genuine. He's thoughtful, and you know,
And it's easy.
yeah.
It's
You know.
easy. It's not contrived. It's just
It's
genuinely good people.
It's genuine.
You know what really
He's
sucks
not trying to get something out of you. He's just being a
is
genuine
it sucks how much
person.
that stands out.
Yeah. I don't think it sucks how much it stands. I think it's great that it stands out and that
What sucks that it's so noticeable.
it's a rare thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's such the norm
Yeah.
that it stands out when someone's not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just sucks.
Yeah. Great dude. Great people.
yeah, outside of Fridays, I don't have a lot of bookings per se. Or no, not per se. I just don't have them.
Yeah.
I don't pursue them that much lately.
We're all getting old.
I have a whole another part of my life that I have to focus on right now.
Yeah.
But I will be at Drai's Paradise on the 25th.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Bet. And
Well,
then, actually, I like.
Remind me of that. I wouldn't mind going to see that.
Yeah.
That's duck to water.
Which will be the first time in, what, 16 years since I've been at Drai's.
Oh, really?
And to play. I've gone back a few times to visit.
I've only played there. I played there the after hours once, and it was a bucket list thing.
Mm.
And then Wally showed up and hey, came to see you. I'm like, I kind of got freaked out a little bit. Cause
Which Wally, again, is another one of those guys who is hands down.
that's a cool. Thing.
I don't talk to him as often as I would like, but I know the guy's crazy busy.
That's a
Again,
cool
one of
guy.
the nicest guys. So we had brought him out a handful of times for a sound bar way back in the day. I was still super young, but we were in Miami for conference, and it was myself and Frank Richards. We just ran into him just off the beach, and it's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And we just ended up hanging out talking for like 2 hours, just shooting the shit. And
Yeah.
I'm like, "You're Wally Claria. I
Yeah.
got like 10 of your records,
Yeah.
and you're just hanging out,
Yeah, he's a cool cat.
talking to us like we're just, you know."
Because
And-
cats are cats, man.
Yeah, and he's a another genuine person who is, his love for music is so deep and it radiates through what he does. And again, it's just, he's not doing it to try to get up on people or trying to prove popularity or whatever. He genuinely has a deep love and passion for music.
He spurned me on when I was he championed a track of mine that and I was thinking about. I was questioning everything if I had the skills to pay the bills, and I was this close to saying, and he championed it, and he didn't know it till recently, but he completely, kept. I mean, he was like saying, "Man, you're Wally Claria." Here, like a Coke mean Joe, like it's like,
He's amazing.
But you know what I mean, like, but that's you look at these guys before you meet these guys, and
Yeah.
No, because you put them up on a pedestal because they're doing what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're aspiring to do what they do.
It's always better when they're so cool and not an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of them are.
Most of them
are. But it's really cool to be able to connect,
Yeah.
On a regular basis with those guys. And, they haven't let their success affect them as a person.
This is true.
Roy
Roy has it. He's opened up for everybody.
Nice a dick.
Roy, what do you got? What do you got coming
Another
up?
genuinely cool person.
What do you
I
have
can't
coming up? Let's get this ship on the road.
I got I don't even remember right now.
Oh, he totally remembers.
Liar.
Soleil in August. I
Perhaps.
think before that I have San Fran.
You're not sure.
August 20th. That'll be Soleil, and looking forward to that as usual. San Diego is always a great spot to play, and then San Francisco, and waiting for that to really get solid.
What's up with that Green Velvet thing?
Green Velvet.
Yeah, Cashmere thing. The Sacramento thing.
Although that's San Fran. I'm waiting to see because they hadn't confirmed yet. So I kind of mentioned the names, and now I'm nervous about mentioning the names now because for one I don't want to do it.
You got me all interested now.
But yeah, just waiting for it to get solid.
And I said AC Lounge on the Malibu on the 27th at I got that on that Moon Shadow. Right, 71. Evidently, Berger says it's 71 feet from his house, right on the beach. That's gonna be fun. Well, I gotta play deep, but it's gonna be challenging.
Giving out people's locations and shit. God damn, son.
But I didn't say where at. Send me there's cardinal directions. Then I'm back. Then I'm back there for the first time playing AC Lounge. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But
You got some Magic
dude,
Brian.
dude, I've seen Matt play before. He played the other night. Ain't many times I go, I need to go curate some more cuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude, fuck, damn. So I got Denver and then in
Masterpiece.
Chicago, September. Yeah.
Want to thank
The shy guy.
Yeah, right. My man Carlos Sanchez for coming through.
He knows Brett Favre.
DCR downtown.
I actually do have a-
I know.
Social. What was that?
He knows Brett Favre.
I don't know Brett Favre. I went to
Did that
to
for you?
Southern Miss, and his cousin was in my fraternity, but he would always come down to Hattiesburg to this particular bar and always leave without paying.
Rockstar style. I'm Bruno Browning, Soulsupplement Records.
Roy Evans in the house, Las Vegas.
Shy guy.
Yeah.
We're out.
Carlos Sanchez in the building. Thanks a lot for coming through, man. I really
Thank
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
you.
brother. This has been fun. This has been a fun one. This has been a fun one.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk some shit.